What's up, you guys? Donald here, coming to you from J Page's Jiu-Jitsu Academy. This is my training partner, David. He's a purple belt, and he starts in seated guard. So we slap hands, and I stand up right away so that I could start working on the guard pass. I work to get my foot to the inside right here so that I could go for float passes. He tries to get his foot onto my hip to maybe go for an ashigarami, but I stop it. And now I'm looking on trying to pummel my leg on top of his shin so that I could go for a basic float pass, but I lost my balance right there. So I'm once again trying to get my foot to the inside to maybe reset and start the pass over again. And you'll see I get it right here. And I once again get my weight forward, get my weight on top of his shin, and then I go for a shin smash. So now I have the underhook, I'm in side mount, and I see that he's trying to block my leg with his hand. So I pin his arm down to the floor with my shin and end up in the side mount crucifix. I windshield wiper my legs so that I have the south shin pinning his arm to the onto the ground. And now I'm thinking about going for either a one-arm guillotine or a kimura. So I initially go for the one-arm guillotine right there, but it didn't work. So I start working to step up so that I can transition to the kimura. But David ends up turtling right here and stops my attack. So I switch to a high-low guard right here so that I can start working on going for a triangle. But he manages to defend that as well. And then we just end up resetting. So now that I'm in seated guard, I'm going for a butterfly sweep right here. I go for the basic over-under sweep, but David manages to stop it. So then I switch sides and manage to get the sweep right there. So once again, I'm on top right here, and I have my foot to the inside. It looked like I went for a rolling kimura there and failed. So he goes for an ashi once again and transitions to X guard. I put my hands on the floor to pin his bottom leg to the floor so I can backstep, and we ended up in seated guard once again. And then David manages to pass me my guard pretty easily right here. So I immediately work on getting my frame on there. And now I'm reaching over his back and grabbing his armpit, thinking about going for a top shoulder roll. So I can either get the regard or the top shoulder roll, but it didn't work. So I went to go for a high-low guard instead. And now I'm just working on trying to defend my arms here. So he's got my bottom armed pin right there. And now he switches to a gift wrap position right here. I managed to slip out of that. And then he switches into a kimura grip so that he can start going for either a north-south kimura or a armbar. He ends up going for the armbar, but I turn into him to get my elbow to the floor to prevent the armbar or kimura threat. And it looks like now he's trying to attack my bottom arm once again, but I managed to stop it right there. So I'm still keeping my hands close. I'm trying to prevent him from going for what looks like a lapel choke right here. So I stick my arm out because I was thinking he was going for the bow and arrow choke that prevents him from getting the underhook and grabbing the lapel. And now he's once again attacking my top arm. And he sits for the armbar, but I managed to pull my elbow out just in time to prevent it. And then he lets me shrimp out right here, and then I go into the shin to shin, thinking about going for an ashigarami. But David ends up passing to the same side as my shin, and then we end up back in side mount. So once again, I shrimp away so that way I can get into a seated guard and maybe work on the butterfly guard techniques that I've been working on. He's got his leg posted up on the right, so I was thinking about sweeping to the left, but I ended up standing up instead. So now David once again ends up in seated guard, so I put my foot to the inside. I'm blocking his foot from coming up onto my hip, and then I go again for the shin smash and end up transitioning into a knee slice pass right here. Now that I'm in knee on belly right here, I'm thinking about going for a quick step arm lock. So basically, I'm thinking about doing a quick, basically like a breakdance move to get onto one of his arms. This was a very sloppy quick step arm lock because I was going for the near arm. It didn't work, so I switched sides, trying to attack his far arm, but he manages to defend that one as well. Now he's turtled right here, and I managed to knock him down, and he has both of his arms crossed over to one side, so I see a darce opportunity right here, and you can see I have my arms connected right here. I managed to get my arms through. I have the hands on the head, and now I've got the full darce lock up right here. So now I fall to my side, and then I slowly squeeze, and then I eventually get the tap. There it is. So now we reset once again. I believe I start in the seated guard here. Let's see. So we slap hands. Okay, so David goes ahead and pulls guard, so I stand up. Once again, I'm thinking about float passing techniques, so I'm working to get my foot to the inside. And I went for a shin smash once again right here. You could see that I'm going for it. And then I went for a back step because I couldn't get the shin smash. Now I'm once again in a knee slice opportunity right here. And then we end up in half guard here, and then he eventually transitions to 3/4 guard. So my initial thoughts here were to push his knee down and then try and step over, but I wasn't able to do that. I forgot to push his knee down. He was controlling my arms. So I try to stand up right here, and then I go for the shin smash once again and fail miserably right here, so I end up in his full guard. And now for the rest of the match, you'll see me defending David's lapel chokes right here. So he already has his left hand in my collar right here, and I'm paying very close attention to his right arm. I'm trying to defend it. I'm trying to prevent that one from going into my lapel at all costs. So I'm very closely paying attention to that. You can see I'm blocking it pretty good right there. It eventually comes over to the other side, but I managed to stop it before, just in time before it gets into my lapel right here. Wait just a moment. Here it comes. There it is. So once again, I block it. He aborts mission, lets go of my collar, but once again gets my posture down and then gets the overhook and grabs my lapel right here, maybe starting an overhook series. But the match ends shortly after right here. And there it is. There's the end of the match. Thank you for the roll, David, and we'll be able to train another day.